All right, here with Si. We've won 3-2 against Southampton. A tough game, a scrape through it. We probably a bit of luck involved, but do you think we deserve to be in the next round?
My biased mind would say yes, but I think realistically we have to count ourselves lucky today. It was a very long game, to be honest. It seemed to just go on and on. We couldn't seem to find any kind of rhythm from the beginning. But you know, I think if we look at it again, it seems to be this thing where the first half is always almost written off for us. It's always like we have to have the half-time team talk to then come out in the second half to produce at least some kind of some quality and creativity. But I'm going to be positive because the changes were made when they needed to be, and you know, we got the result in the end. Delhi came on and put in a great effort in the however many minutes he was on there for, and I believe that he was responsible to thread the ball through to Moura for that second goal, and I can't even remember now.
Ball for the penalty, I think.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, we've got to look at it positively in that sense, but that was a long night for sure.
Do you believe the changes Jose made kind of won us the game, do you feel, in a positive way? Jedson coming on, Delhi coming on, and obviously Vertonghen going off as well.
Yeah, I think Vertonghen at the back, I mean, he's showing some elements of tiredness and not being, you know, to the pace of this league and this level. And I feel for him because he's given us so much over the years. And I hope that he continues to have some big parts this year, and I hope that we win something, not just for us fans, but for players like him who have been around for so long and given us so much. And I'm pretty sure when I was looking over to that bench, he was head in hands, whether that could have been anything. But
I don't know if you've seen on social media, there's pictures being circulating of Vertonghen looking very, very down on the bench and on the verge of tears, even some are saying.
I think I'm only assuming that maybe from his performances, or perhaps even his realisation that, you know, maybe his time at Tottenham is coming to an end and he's not quite up to it. I'm just speculating here. It might be something back home, whatever. But you know, we don't want to see that. We want to see him happy and keep pushing him to be the best that he can be, like we know he can be. But yeah, I think he needed to come off. We needed that bit more of energy, a bit more change of a formation, change of a system, and it proved to work in the end. And we slowly but surely came more and more into the game. I felt that we were countered too easily for their second goal. We made too many mistakes, but the important thing is we got there in the end, and we didn't have to sit here in penalties or extra time, whatever it is these days.
Is it frustrating for you is it frustrating that the fact that we play a lot more of a defensive kind of brand of football now? You can clearly see it. We have a low block, much lower than what we're under Pochettino. We don't press high anymore. We concede possession to the opposition a lot of the time. Like today, I think under 40% possession we had throughout the game, but yet we're still conceding a lot of chances. So if you're going to play more defensive football, do you not feel like if you're not conceding less chances, is there any point?
Yeah, I think it's down to speed and concentration. There's still a lot of AWOL balls, passes going all over the place, or putting ourselves under pressure unnecessarily. Even Hugo passing it out to the right back, left back positions when he shouldn't really be doing that, because the players have already got 2 or 3 attackers around them. It's just pointless, and puts everyone under unnecessary pressure. But I think as well that players like Dyer, it just does my head in. Everything is negative. It's like, I've got the ball, I don't even want to look forwards, I'll just pass it back because it's easy and I can see someone there. That needs to be taken out. I think we need to remove that. That's a big problem for us. And it's not just tonight. It happens every game. Every game that we go to, we see it. We're not making it up in our heads. It's very apparent. I know from all the messages I get from the guys watching the TV, have the same philosophy on that. I think we need to stop that and take out the players that are doing that and bring on the more positive players. Jedson's still finding his feet, but the energy levels changed again. A couple mistakes here and there, but he's still new to this league and the new competitions and pace, etc. But once he came on and Dele came on, we had that creativity spark again, and it wasn't a question of passing it back. It was, how can we get this to the side quicker? How can we get it forward and watch those through balls? How can we get those through balls? And it paid dividends, because immediately the passing was forward thinking, the movement was forward thinking, and that's what we need. And we need that from the beginning, the first minute, not all this second half nonsense is getting a bit irritating.
Do you think that's how Jose set up the team, to play like that, or do you just feel like the personnel on the pitch is leading us to play the kind of football you're playing in the first half?
I think it's a bit of both, because he can only work with what he's got at the end of the day as well. And I'm sure, like we know and he knows, there's still a bit of instability in the team. Not so much problem when we get into the attacking third. There's a bit of a lack of spark or something. It's like maybe a couple of players still we know need to go, but there's nothing you can do about it. And what can you do? You just got to be behind them and keep pushing them, keep singing their names, singing for the team, and bring as much positivity and confidence to them as possible. But in some instances, it's just something we can't do anything about. And I think he does set up the team to try and be as protective as possible. But as I mentioned just a minute ago, there's too many mistakes, too much pressure added by ourselves. We're our own problem half the time. And I think I said it a couple of weeks ago, we should be having that attacking emphasis from the very beginning, get the goals if we can as soon as possible, then sit back and relax and pass it around a bit. We give the opposition too much time to think, not enough pressure. This is the big thing. And this is our ground. We should be, going for it from the first minute. But we keep giving these teams too much opportunity, too much time to think, and we put ourselves under that pressure, and we pay for it. And we did it twice today. We paid for that exact same thing that I've just mentioned.
Who was your man of the match? Talk about positives.
Yeah, we've got to be positive. Mora was fantastic, and I've said this for many weeks. It's hard for him because he's not a target man. But if we play the right football, if we play the great through balls that Dele can do, and very accurate passes, very helpful, we can score goals with him, and he's proved that today. I think he was definitely probably the overall man of the match, but I'm really pleased with Dele's contribution since he came on. So, but it has to be Mora for me, I think, in a general consensus.
Yeah. Just coming on side.